right? So a lot of people are trying to get, big shoulders, and that's super important for all kinds of sports. Obviously for bodybuilding, it's a huge deal. But let's talk about the shoulder and how important it is to stay anatomically correct with the way you move for the shoulder, and as well as how you press so you don't hurt your lower back, okay? So another basic tip here that could impact how well you develop your shoulder, as well as how healthy you stay in the long run, and even in the short run in some aspects. All right, so a lot of my clients, when they press, they start going, in this fashion, and then they start pushing away, right? So that is a typical fault that you're going to see a lot of people do. Now, you look at that and probably go, dude, that looks wrong, right? But when you're doing it yourself, you don't feel it. You don't quite get that that's what you're doing. So the reason why that's so wrong is when you push the pelvis forward and you try and get more leverage, you're stronger there because you get more pec muscle, tricep gets better engagement, and your front delt works harder and your lateral head does not. So the lateral head is the biggest head of the shoulder, but hey man, if you're not working it, it can't get strong. So let's talk about how we can take the pressure off the lower back from pushing, right, and activate as much of that lateral head as possible. So first of all, the shoulder is tipped forward in the joint, okay? So you don't want to be pinned way back, all right? Because then when you start pushing, that'll start impinging the joint as well. You got the humerus rubbing up against the clavicle, and you're going to cause some type of inflammation. So let's talk about how to fix that. Well, naturally, you have more range of motion with your arms in front of you. So we're going to put the shoulders in just a little, or the elbows in just a little bit of a forward position. And now the elbow can be right underneath the wrist. And when we press, we're going to think rib cage down. All right? So we're tightening up the rib cage, and then we're pressing through. Tighten up the rib cage, press through. All right? Now when you get to the top, you can rotate those elbows out. Da, 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 da. Okay? Now when you do that, when you get through the movement, you want to flex your glutes as well. Keep everything in your chain, your kinetic chain from the floor up to your hands as tight as possible. And what that's going to allow you to do is keep your core stable without any lower back pressure and allow for maximum delt activation throughout the range of motion. Now, a pro tip, if you want to take some pressure off maybe the traps and maybe a little bit off the triceps, come only down to your ears or about 90-degree angle, then drive through and feel like you're squeezing that bar together. If you squeeze that bar together, your delts can activate even more, and that can help improve how much stimulation you get on the shoulder, so you don't have to use too much weight and overload and increase your chance for injury until you can progress higher and improve how much size you can gain, how much muscular and strength endurance you can get, and start loading up those pounds, man. So I hope that tip helps. Get back to me with the comments below, and check me out at TJ O'Connor Fitness, TJ O'Connor on Instagram, and I hope to talk to you soon.